Welcome to Fantastic Fiber Friday. Today I'm going to go over spinning wheel care. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a duster and go ahead and dust maybe the parts that don't see a whole lot of use. They get kind of dusty. And as you can see, even though my wheel looks pretty clean, it's definitely dusty. And I've got 4 different wheels, and they're all treated a little bit differently. They get oiled in different places and whatnot. So first I'm just going to kind of dust off the wheel. And I really do like these little Swiffer dusters for it because it does a good job of getting the dust out of the nooks and crannies. And it looks like Deanie's going to help me. Or watch. Make sure I get all those places there. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to oil this wheel. Now, this particular wheel doesn't need a whole lot of oiling, just with certain parts that move. So I just put a dab of oil, spinning wheel oil, in those spots. Right there is the main spot where I have to oil. Keep things nice and smooth. And since this one comes apart and the flyer comes off real easily, I might put a dab of oil back in here. Pop that back on. Spin it around. Can't see it. Pop it back on. There we go. There it goes. Back into place. The flyer back on. This one has a magnetic flyer, so it just pops into place. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and treat the wood. Now, I like to stick with very natural stuff to treat my wood, and this is a homemade balm for wood that I made, for wood that's treated or untreated. It can work on each, and it just kind of helps. It's all it is some olive oil and wax. You can use some people do like to use mineral oil, but because it's a petroleum based product, I don't use mineral oil. And this will help protect the wood and keep it moisturized because we have a lot of dry heat in the winter here. Another product that I do love to use is Blue Mountain Handcrafts Wood Balm. So when I can get my fingers on that, I go ahead and buy that. I also use that on all my fiber tools, on my carder, my combs, my hand carders, all that. And a little really does go a long way. You don't have to use a whole lot of this. So that is how I protect the wood and keep it nice looking. You follow the grain, of course. On this particular wheel. Now I'm going to finish this one up later and move to another wheel so you can see some of the differences in the different wheels. This is my Sequoia wheel. I also have, slide this one out of the way, I have an Ashford Joy. And it's kind of the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and dust it. And for this wheel, you want to oil this area, and put a little oil in where the plier screws in. Move it around a little bit. And once again, you just kind of do the same thing with the wood balm. Rubbing it in real good. To help keep your wheel looking its best. And as my herd of wheels is expanding, I'm learning about different types of wheels. Oop, got a little much there. There we go. And the one thing that I found that probably is not the best thing to do is try to put this stuff within this area of the wheel, because it will cause your band to slip. And you always want to go with the grain of the wood. So there's for the Ashford Joy. I also have an Ashford Traditional. I was really surprised how much I enjoyed spinning on this wheel because I was used to the double treadle. And I've done this one rather recently because it recently came into my possession. And it's pretty much dusted off. And I already did treat this with the oil, with the balm, but to oil it, I love the nice color that the balm gives it. To oil this wheel, oops, I almost knocked my bottle of oil over. That would not have been good. Pull this out of the way. Just kind of put a drop here, and on the other side. Put a drop there, here, and here to keep all the parts moving. And since these are plastic, I don't really use any oil on the plastic bits, but just where metal meets metal. And I also am not afraid to use my wood balm on the leather bits because it keeps the leather nice and supple and it's perfectly safe. Also makes good hand moisturizer. So that's basically the care for a traditional. And I recently had gotten another wheel I've added. It's a little Hitchhiker wheel, and I haven't done much with her yet except kind of put her through her paces and do some spinning. Really cute little wheel. I'm going to remove these bobbins out of the way, and these extra little rubber wheels that are for your ratios on this, because this is a tension driven wheel. See right there, the tension, one wheel rubs against the other and it turns. So I'm going to go ahead and oil the parts where metal's touching metal. And there are ball bearings here and they are not enclosed. So I'll go ahead and put a little bit of oil in there. Spin it around some.
Can't see nothing.
Oh, thank you, dear. I'll turn it around. See right here, there's ball bearings in this one. Let me pop this off and pull it out and screw this bobbin and show you. There we go. This slides right off with has a little rubber grommet in front of it you want to keep. I'll slide that down over so it doesn't disappear anywhere and turn it to show you. It's got ball bearings that are open here, so I put a little bit of oil in there and give it a spin. And that's what makes this wheel different. I've not yet treated this wood. And this is an unfinished one, so this is how I'm going to finish it. I know a lot of people have done beautiful jobs painting their Hitchhiker wheels. I'm not very artistic in that sense. I'm not a very good painter. So I'm just going to stick to the beauty of the wood. It does need a little dusting down at the bottom here. Ooh! That little Swiffer came off. There we go, let go. And get up in here. And then I'll go ahead and start working my, oops, got a little much, my wood balm in here. And again, like with this wheel, they say if you put a finish on it and it's too slippery and not catching, to go ahead and rough it up with a little bit of steel wool. That's from the manufacturer. So I'm going to be careful not to put a whole lot of balm on the other side of this. In fact, it still feels a little rough, like it could use some sanding. But this is a good little wheel overall. I've been having fun playing with this. This is the latest addition to my herd here, as they like to say on Ravelry. Call it a herd of spinning wheels. But basically, that is how you care for your spinning wheels to keep it running for you for a long time. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one up. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week.